Hey there, Carrie Rhoades here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you a super easy Halloween treat holder. I know not everybody gives Halloween cards, but sometimes it's fun to make a cute little Halloween treat just to brighten someone's day. So I'm going to be using the honeybee stamp set called Warm Wishes. It has the cutest fox in it that really you can use any time of the year. I've used it a lot. It was one of the stamp sets in my Happy Stamping box. So I do love this set, and I'm going to make him really cute for Halloween and put him on a little treat holder that you could give to a friend, and you could change it up for any holiday, and you could make it a little simple, and you could dress it up a little bit more. So it's really the perfect project, if I don't say so myself. So enough talking, let's get to the stamping. First, I want to show you the Warm Wishes stamp set by Honeybee Stamps. I love this fox with his sweater and all the fun elements that you can stamp on it to make this for any occasion. And of course, a coordinating die set is fabulous. So this is what we're using on our projects today. I'm going to color in this fox that I have stamped on Bristol Smooth paper with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. And I will be putting the colors of markers up on the screen so that you can see them and know what colors I stamped. I've greatly sped this up because I would say I'm not the world's fastest colorer. So it is sped up for your convenience, and I just am blending out the markers with the other markers. So I'm using a dark marker and a light marker, like here, brown and light brown, and using the light brown to blend out the dark brown. I love that these markers can do that. I love their fine tip, so they get into those little tiny areas. They work kind of like a paintbrush. It's not a felt tip marker, it's a real brush. So it's so fun to play with them. If you've never used them and want to start using them, I highly recommend using Bristol Smooth paper as I am right here, because it will give you the best results for blending because of the very smooth surface. I'm also going to be bringing in a blending pen. This is made by Zig, and it is the same marker with no pigment in it. So it'll blend out those colors if you need that kind of tool. It works really great. So the theme of this video are some cute and easy treat bags, and for this first one I am going to be putting candy corns in the treat bag. So I decided I would color this fox's sweater to match a candy corn. It's like a candy corn Halloween sweater. So that's where the color idea came from. And there is a pumpkin in the stamp set, so that's what's stamped on the middle of his sweater. I'm using a warm gray marker for those white areas. And then you can see here, I am using the marker to draw lines. And what I'm doing is taking the darkest color and drawing those lines over the top of what I've already color blended. And that is what's giving me like the knit look or the ribbed look of his sweater. So cute. All right, then we're just going to add some black lines, some black coloring with a liner or detail pen, and that is going to kind of finish up and give those details. So he has a black nose, a little smile. I added a face, so the pumpkin was now a jack-o'-lantern, and then I'm adding in the whites of his eyes, a little shadow on or a highlight on his nose, and some little freckles with a white gel pen. Now I have a piece of white cardstock measuring 3 inches by 10 inches. It's scored at 3.5, 5.5, and 9. Now this is going to wrap around the cellophane bag that I'm using exactly. And the cellophane bags I will show you shortly. They're from Fun Stamper's Journey. They also have a die that would work for this cello bag. I have made several things with that die, but you don't have to have the die to make this particular project. So it's really easy to just cut and also score it to make it fit. I'm coating this paper with some black soot Distress Oxide ink. I'm not worrying about it being a perfect blend. I want it to look like a kind of a night sky that has clouds in it. a little bit of a Halloween feel, but not super spooky. So you can see it's just a dusting and it's going to turn out perfect. I'm taking my distress sprayer with water in it and splattering that paper and picking up that excess water with my paper towel. Then I'm going to add some silks. I have 3 different colors of silk here. As you can see, they're kind of candy corn colored. And I am making sure to shake up the bottle before I splatter it because it's got that shimmer in the bottom. So shake these up well and then splatter them down, and it just adds to the fun night sky, even though it's not the exact colors of the stars. So here's those cello bags. They are clear bags. There's 52 a pack. They have a flat bottom and a gusseted side, and they're about 2.5 by 2 inches and then 6 inches tall. I'm pouring in some candy corns, and then I'll fold this down 2 times and staple it shut. I love the flat bottom. It's a really nice size. You can really put a lot in this bag, more than you think. I'm going to die cut this grass. I'll put a link to the die set that this grass came from, also from Fun Stamper's Journey below. And that's from black glitter cardstock. And then on a piece of gray cardstock, I'm going to stamp my sentiments and with VersaFine Onyx black ink, and then emboss them with clear on this gray paper so it really matches the background of my treat holder. So just some clear powder on there, and then we'll go ahead and emboss that, and it'll have a nice raised up and shiny look. I love that. Embossed sentiments, love them. So we'll die cut those out with the coordinating dies, and those will be ready to put on the front of our treat bag. But before I did that, I decided I would take a teeny tiny blending brush and just highlight the edges of these pieces. And I could have brought out my distress ink instead of OXIDE, but I had the OXIDE out and I feel like it worked just fine. The only thing is the ink, excuse me, will set on top of that embossing. So I just took a paper towel and burnished or rubbed that off. And now I'm adding some stars. This star is also from the Warm Wishes stamp set with white ink just to kind of fill in my background and make it a little bit more night sky looking. And then I'm going to fold on all the scored lines to go ahead and put my little bag of candy corns inside. So on the middle piece, we're going to, I guess we're going to glue on all the things first. So let's glue on the grass. And that piece is a little bit wider than my box, so I just put it where I liked and then trimmed off the excess. And that is so cute with the glitter grass. I love it. This little guy, he is adorable, is going to be stuck on with some foam squares, but you can see I didn't go all the way to the top of his head because his head is going to help keep this little package closed. The sentiments are going on next, and I'm putting the warm on with foam squares, and the hugs I'll just glue right beneath that. So one is popped up and one is just underneath, and it just overlaps that fox a tiny bit. And don't you think those sparkle silks look great on that background? I'm loving it. And now we will flip this over and put some strong adhesive on that middle section, and you can go ahead and use that to stick your treat down too. And then you can see that this folds right over and that top flap goes right behind the fox's head. I'm going to top it off with a little bit of pumpkin patch gingham ribbon by FSJ and tie that off in a bow. Now this will be on just that top flap, so you can still open and close the container with that ribbon right on there. I love that. So this was just my first idea, but once I got started, I really wanted to make some other candy-inspired treat holders. So the next treat holder is going to be inspired by another famous candy. I mean, it's famous for like all times of the year, M&Ms, but I found some cute Halloween ones, and so that's going to be my next container inspired by Halloween M&Ms. And you really could dress this up for any holiday, any occasion with the fox and put something different on his sweater. Color your background different. Use pattern paper. So here are those M&Ms. Aren't they fun in these Halloween colors? I filled this bag up a little bit fuller than my last one. And I'm going to splatter this background with some different colors of silk. I've got some purple, green, and orange, just like my M&Ms. This one I'm going to cut a window out of. That's why I filled up the candy bag a little fuller, so that you could see the candy through the window. And I'm going to give this guy an M&M sweater. Now, I drew those circles on there. I am not one for drawing in my own things. So I know people say this, like, if I could do it, then anyone could. But I really mean it. Like, I am not good at drawing. That's why I rubber stamp. So I just say give it a try. Practice on a scratch paper and then come in, or you could trace something. Also, you can see on this fox, I am going over his nose for that two-toned face, so that the bottom half of his face is white. The other one I went under. Just, you know, do the one that you like the best. It gives him that little fox feel, but I've also colored him where I didn't put the white in at all. So if drawing M&Ms on a sweater and drawing a line for his face scares you, just don't do it. Do what makes you comfortable, but then again, don't be afraid to stretch yourself and try something different. So I made this a gray fox. I thought that would just be kind of fun and different, and I used 2 different colors of gray, just like I did before, and then I'm using those same oranges, 2 colors of purple, and blending them out with the other zig marker, and sometimes bringing in my blender pen as well to blend things out. And he, I feel, just turned out really cute. I love the gray. I think I like the line for his face over his nose better than under, but either way is really cute. So just an orange and purple sweater with those M&Ms in the middle. I'm drawing in his little mouth and using that same liner pen. This is a Micron liner pen to go around those M&Ms again. And white pen for the whites of his eyes, color in his little nose. And I am going to take a pink marker as soon as I figured out which one I liked. And I'll add a couple little dots for the cheek, and then I blended them out with my blender pen and put some white on there for little freckles. And then I'm using my blender pen just to draw a lowercase m, nothing fancy. And I'm going to stick him on with the foam squares, but remember, not all the way to the top, because his head will help hold the flap of this container closed. I have a few foam squares that stick past my window, so I'm just going to tap some anti-static powder on those so it doesn't remain sticky. All right, so you can see the M&Ms through the window. I put a ton of M&Ms in this bag. Really, so much fits in there. And I'm going to use some black gingham ribbon for this box. And this one was a little fuller than the other one, so I decided to put some temporary adhesive on that flap. That way it could stick down. I felt like it might want to pop open because I put so much M&Ms in there. I'm going to stamp hugs on some electric lime cardstock, die cut that with the banner. I'm going to pierce a hole in it, and I will just tie this onto that ribbon, and that finishes off my second treat box. But I'm sure you're having tons of ideas for this. You could die cut the opening to be a heart or a pumpkin or a bat or whatever you could think of and put some really fun things inside. So I love it. I think it's a good match for this little fox, and I hope that you have enjoyed it too, and maybe make a treat for somebody on Halloween just to brighten their day. Thank you so much for watching. All the products I used are listed and linked for you below. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. I have new videos every week. Stay tuned on Tuesday. I will be back with a new video with my Die Set of the Month series. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.